Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through some items that I have thrifted, trying to give you guys a price point of what I have paid for the items, and then showing you how I intend to kind of style them within my home or my thoughts behind purchasing them. So I'm super excited to show you guys what I have found. I would like to mention and disclose before beginning this video that these items have been purchased over a series of weeks and months. By no means have I purchased them all at once. I think that sometimes when you watch thrift hauls, it can be a little bit deceiving. You see all these items and kind of think, wow, they've had great success. And that can be the case. Obviously, going into a secondhand shop, you can come out with tons of goodies and treasures, which is great. But more often than not, I go thrifting and I find one item or I find nothing. And that is just the reality of thrifting. It is not always successful. It's kind of a patience game, in my opinion, with trying to find items that are, you know, good quality and worth putting in your home. So yeah, if you don't walk out with anything, that is normal. And I think the items I'm showing you here are a complete reflection of that. They are not found all at once. So I'm excited to show you what I have found. I've had a lot of success over the past couple weeks and months of thrifting. And yeah, we'll jump right into it. So the first item, this is in no particular order. I've found these scattered throughout, like I mentioned, a couple weeks and months, but I'm just gonna go and grab through my pile here and show you guys what I've purchased. So this first item is a piece of pottery. I was super excited to find this one. It is handmade. It's got a signature on the bottom. It is a tiny little kind of vase, not super big, but I just loved the size. I thought it was great. I love styling these smaller pieces of pottery next to kind of a larger vase. I think the contrast of the big and the small and mixing those sizes in is really nice to incorporate on shelf styling or wherever, kind of. This piece in particular had super nice coloring, I thought. It kind of has this aged effect to it with some nice browns, blacks, creams. If you've watched my videos before, you will know that I am a super big neutral person. I love incorporating those warm tones within my home. So I was, of course, excited to find this one. This is great, I think, for putting flowers in, leaving it as a standalone piece. I just think that there's a lot of ways that this could be versatile for decorating. I'll kind of give you guys a close-up of the item. Super pretty, and yeah, I was super excited to find that piece. I believe I paid less than $3 for it. I definitely did not keep the tags on, which is kind of not super helpful, but I have already placed a lot of these items within my home, so hence why I've taken the tags off. So I'm just trying to recall the prices as we go here, but I remember it was definitely on the affordable end for sure. Next two items are both antique mustard jars. So the first one here is this beige kind of colored one, and the reason I picked this one up is because I have tons of these mustard jars already. I have them styled in my antique cabinets on shelving, but it is very rare to find one with the label on it. So this one has the label on the front and then the nutritional facts on the back, which is kind of funny. But I thought it was just kind of fun to have one that had the history of where it's from. It's all in French. I don't understand it, but I think just seeing the original state of it and having one of those pieces is kind of neat. Again, I've mentioned this in a previous video that I love collecting these. They are awesome for paintbrushes, for florals, or just again as a standalone piece on a shelf. So I was super excited to find one. They are harder to find. I find a lot of them, obviously, because I've been thrifting for so long, but on the whole, I don't come across them a ton. So I always try and pick them up when I see them. So that's that piece. The next one is very similar. Also a antique piece, I believe. Sometimes it's hard to tell if these are antique or not. I usually look at the bottom of them, and then when it has this kind of raw pottery look to it. Sometimes that's an indication that it could be an antique piece. If it's a brand new piece and I see it, I'm not opposed to buying it. I just am personally drawn to the antique ones for the quality, the glazing. I just tend to be gravitating towards those more so. But I saw this one. I loved the color of the glaze. It is way more of a white kind of glaze as opposed to that beigey color that I previously showed. And again, this one had no label, but I love using them again for storage, florals. It was a really cute size, and I think both of them I paid less than $4 for. If you find these in antique stores, they're definitely more. So again, a good thing to thrift if you can. The next little piece here is a silver plated small little frame here. So this piece was again thrifted. It is super hard to find these tiny little frames. For whatever reason, I find the big frames, of course, that's not too rare or too hard to come by, but these tiny ones are really hard to find, and so whenever I do find them, if they're in pretty good condition, I'll go ahead and pick them up. They're perfect for putting a little Polaroid photo in or something tiny, even like a keepsake. I don't know if you have like a handwritten note, or I don't know, I think just putting something in it that is meaningful to you is a really sweet idea. I like layering these frames with larger frames, so kind of having the big one and the small one side by side. I think it creates a really nice layered look, and so I picked that one up, and yeah, I'm excited to style that. I believe that was less than $1. The next piece is a super cute little French piece. I've been looking for one of these for forever, and I have had no luck. I was almost tempted to order one on Etsy because they do have them on there, but Etsy can be really pricey for items. I'm not opposed to purchasing from there, but I just know, and maybe this is just hopeful or wishful thinking, but often, like, if I'm really looking for a piece or after a piece, if I wait long enough, I usually do find it in the thrift stores or secondhand. Again, that's why I mentioned kind of that thrifting is a patience game. You can usually find what you're after. It just takes time sometimes. So when I came across this, I was kind of like reminded of that, you know what, I almost ordered this online, which would have been fine. But here we are, and I found it thrifting, which was really exciting. So this is a little herb pot. It's got a stamp on the bottom that says made in France. And then the actual label says herb special pizza. So I'll kind of bring it closer for you guys to see. It is not a huge little storage container, but it does hold, I would assume, oregano or some sort of herb for pizza making or whatever. For myself, I have it styled in my kitchen on a shelf, and I will probably put some salt in it, use it as a salt cellar, or maybe herbs. But I thought that it was so sweet to add to the kitchen. Again, I've mentioned this before, I love French decor. I'm super inspired by it. I think the French people are doing it right when it comes to decor. They have items that are super high quality, they look really lived in, and I just, yeah, I'm very inspired by it. So whenever I come across a piece made in France, I know the quality is going to be there, and I know the character also is going to be there. So I definitely pick it up. So I'm excited to style this little guy on my kitchen shelving. The next pricing for that, I think, was again probably less than $2. It was not much at all. So super exciting. I know that I would have paid a lot more on Etsy, so that was a score. Next item is this cute little silver pitcher. I don't know if this one is silver plated or not. It doesn't say much on the back that would kind of give it away if it was silver plated. The weight of it, sometimes that's one way of knowing. I usually, whenever I purchase silver, really pay attention to the weight, because often that is an indication that it might be silver plated. But I'm not sure. I really just loved the look of it, and so it felt like a heavy good quality piece, and so that's why I bought it. I think that sometimes when you're thrifting, you see a lot of silver. They can be super high shine, really light and thin, and that's kind of what I steer away from. I tend to go for the pieces that are heavy. Sometimes they will say silver plated, and I always try and check the labels. Again, it's just a quality thing for me. I know that it's gonna shine up nice, not tarnish. And so I try and always grab the pieces that have that quality. This one here I thought was so sweet. It was a really cute size. Often you see pictures and they're quite big, which I do love, but this one was a really small, petite size. It has some age to it. I haven't tried to really polish it or anything like that. I definitely could go in with a polishing cloth and see if any of it comes off, but again, I like the age of things. I don't intend to use this for water for myself or drinking or anything. I bought it with the intention of using it for watering my plants. So I have a lot of house plants, more so tiny little ones, and so I thought this would be perfect. It's got, you know, doesn't hold a lot of water, but it's perfect for those small plants within my home to water. So I will water and style, and I think it's fun to kind of find items that aren't your typical you know, purpose, I guess, right? So when you're watering plants, you think of a typical, I think, watering can or something. And this is kind of a fun way to do it. So I intend to use that for that. I think that it was price point probably, again, less than $3 mark. So affordable and a cute little piece to style on the shelf. Next item I got is this planter. This was, I think, $2 or $3. Again, I've taken the tag off. It is a metal planter with a black finish, and the reason I was attracted to it was the shape, but also I love the little feet. I think they were so sweet looking. Again, kind of a little French inspired. But yeah, I love a planter. I love switching out my planters, putting different plants in them and changing them year to year with annuals, I think is really fun. So I currently have nothing in this one, but I intend to probably put some basil in here. I think basil kind of grows super big and full, and I think something like that kind of spilling over would be quite nice. So I'm excited to use this. It does not have drainage holes, so I definitely could drill something in the bottom there and have a little bit of drainage if I need. So again, a super cute piece. It's neutral. It goes with my home. I think it's classy looking, and I think with some nice basil, it'll look super sweet. So I was excited to find that. Next piece is this beautiful piece of pottery. So this one I thrifted actually very recently. Again, the tag is off. I think it was $7. So it was either 7 or 8, which again, super affordable. When you go to antique shops and you find these, at least where I live, they are very pricey. So whenever I come across a beautiful crock, I always pick them up because again, they're something that I always find a use for in my home, whether it's styling on its shelf, storage, whatever. So here I've got some florals in the vase, and these have been thrifted as well. These were thrifted many years back, but I love them. They're so practical in terms of, you know, staying alive, if you will. We live in a climate that does not allow things to grow very well here, and so faux florals have become a good friend of mine, but it can be hard to find them in kind of realistic forms, in my opinion. So I found these thrifting and I thought they were really pretty. They add a nice little texture. Again, I love that pop of white, neutral, of course. So yeah, I picked this one up. I love the glaze. I do not have a crock that is a brown color. I think I've thrifted like beige. I have like a burgundy one, I believe. But yeah, the brown color I did not have, and so hence why I was super eager to add it to my collection. It's got some really nice aging and patina to it, and yeah, I loved the brown color. It was such a nice little warm neutral to add in. It didn't come with a lid, but that's all right. I don't really have a use for the lid anyways. And yeah, again, florals, you can put, you know, wooden spoons for a kitchen. You can put paintbrushes again, whatever kind of tickles your fancy there. So that is that item. Next one is another kind of planter pot. This is a stoneware piece that I believe is a planter. I think I paid, again, probably $3 for it, no more than $4, I would say. And I loved this. I thought it was so perfectly aged. Again, I really go for items that have that patina, that rustic kind of age look to it, and it's in this gorgeous black color, but then it kind of has that I don't know, dirty or mud effect to it. It's super kind of chippy, and it's very shallow, so it's not a planter that I can probably put certain plants in. I'll have to watch what I put in it, or I don't even have to use it as a planter. So again, that's kind of thinking outside the box when you see an item, although most people would think planter. For me personally right now, on my coffee table, I have it sitting with some remotes in it. So I'm not using it as a planter currently, but I for sure could. But that's one of those fun things of trying to look at an item when thrifting and see outside the box of what you could potentially use it for other than its sole purpose. So I was super thrilled to find this piece. Again, I go for those aged looking pieces that kind of add that nice patina and character to your home. So I got that one. Next item was actually a crazy find. I've only brought a few of them here because I have such a large stack of them, but these are placemats. I don't know if it's gonna pick up nice on camera, but they are a set of placemats and a set of napkins. This is the napkin. So the napkin just kind of has the thinner border here. And then the placemat has a thick border. But I think I got 8 or 9 of these thrifted, and they are from Restoration Hardware. So I was so thrilled to find those. Obviously, Restoration Hardware is known for having really great quality pieces, but the price point is just not within my budget. I love their things. I think they're beautiful, but again, they're not something that I will really treat myself to. So when I found it thrifting, I was so excited. They are gorgeous, 100% linen placemat and napkin, and they were in like mint shape. It looked like no one had even used them. They were all like perfectly creased, and yeah, I was super thrilled to find them. I am going to pop them all in the wash. I just have the stack sitting to the side on my other table here, so they have yet to be thoroughly washed, but there was no staining, there was no, you know, real significant snags or damage. That's always something that I try to look for when, you know, purchasing linen second hand. I don't want any type of major imperfections, but they were like perfect. And so another reason why I love thrifting so much, you can find such good quality pieces, like 100% linen, at a price point that is, you know, amazing. So I got, I think it was the 8 napkins and the 8 placemats for $4. So it was insane. At least where I live, linen is not a cheap fabric to buy by any means. So I look forward to using these for some kind of special occasion. For our daily use, I don't know if I'll use it because we can be a little messy. I don't want to totally mark them up too quickly here, but again, it's one of those things that I think I don't mind marking up in the future because I haven't paid a lot for it. I've paid $4 for, you know, the whole set, and if there gets a stain, you know, as we're eating, or, you know, we come across some imperfections in it, I'm not super worried because I didn't have to invest a lot of money in them. So I am super excited with those, and I was very shocked to find them at the thrift store. Speaking of linen, I have got these are going to be hard to kind of show on camera here, but I found 4 of these pillow covers. So these are 100% linen as well. They were mint shape as well. Whenever I'm thrifting, again, I've said it before, I really inspect the item when it comes to fabrics very well, making sure there's no crazy imperfections, snags, tears, gross stains, and that it can be washed really easily. So they were near perfect condition. I didn't see any kind of, major imperfections. So I got 4 of them. I popped them all in the wash, gave them a really good thorough cleaning. I already had the inserts. It is just in a kind of feather-filled insert here. And I was just like, these are gorgeous. Like, they're a perfect neutral for my home personally, and the quality is there. They're gonna last me forever, and I know that if I went to HomeSense or bought these off of Pottery Barn or wherever, they would be super pricey. So to find, again, 100% linen at an affordable price, I think I paid I think it was under $5 for all 4. So affordable. And yeah, I'm gonna have them forever, and they'll match with any kind of bedding I put or any room I kind of put them in, or couch. And so I was super excited to find that. Speaking of linen, this is not thrifted, but I wanted to include it because of the pillow color. This is a recent find that I got at HomeSense. I have yet to see if I'm gonna keep this find because I like trying all my items before kind of making that final decision. But with HomeSense, I always say, if you find an item that you love, purchase it. You can always return it. I've had it where I've gone in, I've seen the item and I've loved it, and then I'm kind of like hemming and hawing, and I don't end up getting it, and then I regret it. I go back and it's not there. So HomeSense, if you love an item, try and snag it. You can always bring it back. So that's what I kind of thought with this item here. It is a queen duvet cover. Again, not thrifted. I just want to be clear on that, but I found it and I absolutely loved the stripe pattern. I find that duvet covers in 100% linen are super hard to find in a stripe or a pattern that I love. I typically always buy white duvet covers because I like kind of having fun with patterns with my pillows and other things. But I feel like my spare bedroom needs some life to it. It needs some pattern. It's just very flat and boring right now. So I thought I would try it. If I don't like the kind of pattern with the current bed situation I have going on, I will return it. It was $89, regular $160, which I thought was not horrible for linen. Typically, even on Amazon or things like that, these are $100 plus. So again, I will give it a shot and try it, but the reason I'm including it in this haul is because here's a perfect example of, incorporating the new and the old, I guess. So I've got this linen pillow that I've thrifted, and I just thought the colors with the stripe here were so beautiful. I thought it went super nice. Again, I love neutral, so this makes me very excited because they're both super neutral. But yeah, I'm super excited to give it a shot, and I think that that's a great example of, mixing the old and the new. I love sourcing new pieces. I think that there's awesome things at the retail shops, but when you can find some thrifted finds that kind of go with your current new finds, it is exciting and it creates a really beautiful blend. So that is the thrift haul for today. I thank you for joining me again, and I look super forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye guys.